Hello guys, Spino here. So 3.5 beta just dropped and let's talk about Hysilens kit. And you guys need to understand this is from beta, so everything could be subject to change, so always take everything with a grain of salt. Now let's talk about her kit, and if you guys enjoy videos like this, leave a like, subscribe, it will always make me happy. Her basic attack is just normal basic attack, doesn't do anything, just hits one ally and that's it. Now her skill is actually pretty good. It's actually going to be like a blast attack, dealing damage, and it also lowers enemies. The enemies take 20% damage after you apply it for 3 turns. So you use her skill, enemies take 20% damage for 3 turns. Pretty solid skill in my opinion. Now her ult is pretty simple actually. Simply she creates a freaking zone like Jiaochu zone. In the zone, the enemies reduce 25% defense, and they also lose 15% of their attack. So they're gonna have reduced attack and reduced defense on them, and they also trigger multiple DOT. All the DOT on them will get triggered up to 8 times. So it's like a Kafka skill, but a mini version of Kafka skill alongside all the DOT, all the defense down and all the attack percent down. She also triggers DOT on them for 8 turns. I think it's more like 8 turns for different enemies. So it's similar to Jiaochu's ult, but you have that, I forgot what Jiaochu's talent is called, but it's like Jiaochu, but you're gonna trigger it with Hysilens simply, while lowering their defense and lowering their attack percent. It's a pretty solid attack in my opinion. Now, talking about her talent is where everything comes together. Simply her talent, whenever you use basic attack, skill, or ultimate, she gets to apply any of the DOT status, wind shear, bleed, fire dot, everything. She can literally apply any of them with her skill, alt, or basic attack. She can apply any of the form. While doing this, enemies also take 25% more DOT damage, so they take more damage while doing this. And your freaking bleed, your Hysilens DOT will do 20% more. 25%. Sorry, 25% of. 20 or 25. I think it's like 20 or 25% of enemies max health, not yours. It's like enemies max health. Simply her DOT will do more damage than your allies, but at the same time she can also boost the allies damage. I think it's pretty solid if you ask me. Really solid kit for DOT unit. I was not expecting this. I was expecting her to be more like a main DPS or maybe like a sub DPS. I was not expecting something like a support kit on her, but I'm pretty happy. It means she will have a lot more synergy with Kafka, Black Swan. Maybe you can use all 3 of them together and have a crazy dot team. I think it's really cool. Now, talking about her technique, it's actually pretty simple. She's gonna have a zone, and when you go in battle with her technique, you'll apply different types of DOT on different types of enemies. It's that simple. It's nothing crazy. Now, talking about her bonus traces, she's gonna get 28% attack, 9 speed, and 10 effective trade. It's really solid for a dot carry. For a doctor character, these are perfect. Now let's talk about her ascension traits as well, because we're here. Her A1 trait is going to be at the start of combat, Hysilens creates a zone with the same effect as her ultimate, lasting for 3 turns. So simply you can have 100% uptime with her ulti. I think pretty good. Enemies having less damage and you're gonna do more damage is always good, So pretty solid A1 traits. For her A2 traits, whenever other allies perform attack, Hysilens has a 100% base chance to inflict enemies with one of the following DOTs, like wind shear, physical, bleed, whatever. She can literally perform, put DOTs on enemies as long as your allies hit. And this is what I'm saying. She's so good as a sub DPS or support sub DPS. You can probably run triple DOT and have so much value, in my opinion. Now her A3 traits, her major traits, in my opinion, for every 10 effective trait exceeds 60. Increase the damage by 15% up to 90%. So you want to build Hysilens with a lot of effective trade, like close to maybe 120, so you can get up to 90% effective trade. 90% damage for free. So pretty simple unit. You just want to have a lot of effective trade. You just want to have a lot of speed, and then you just kill everything around her, because that's how she works. Now, how do I think she's going to be falling into the meta? because of her supporting her capabilities, I think she could be a really solid option for a third DOT unit, or maybe like a second DOT unit with a support. You can do whatever the hell you want, but because she has so much defense down and damage, amplification on her kit, I think she could be a really solid. You can run triple DOT and have a lot of value. I'll also talk about her Lycon. Her Lycon is pretty simple. It gives 40% ability rate. It also adds a debuff on enemies that, I don't want to talk about the debuff's name. It's pretty hard for me to pronounce. She also gets 10% damage. I mean, not damage, 10% more speed. And she increases 5% DOD taken by enemies. So it's a pretty solid Lycon in my opinion. You could get it. It's also going to be the best in slot for Kafka, I presume, because of the stats. It's really good. So that's it for Hysilens. A pretty simple kit, nothing crazy. Her animations, I do think they're beautiful as hell. I loved it. It's not like fine on level, but they look pleasing to the eye in my opinion. I do think she can make DOT work at least for another 2 or 3 patches with her kit being good. Now, with the current HP inflation, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I hope it lasts for pretty good, because she can literally apply every single dot by herself. So having someone like Kafka to trigger everything is like pretty good. She can also trigger in her ult, but like I said, she has a trigger limit of 8, so she cannot trigger again and again like Kafka's skill can, right? So she has an 8 trigger limit, and I think it gets spread to enemies. So having a trigger limit kind of sucks, but who cares? I don't care at this point. You just run Kafka and you kind of solve that problem already. So yeah, overall I think solid units, solid DOD units. Yeah, hope they give her pretty decent numbers, and she'll be pretty decent with and she can revive DOD. I think DOD will be fine, at least for another 3 or 4 patches. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys on the next one, and have a great day, guys.